In our increasingly digital world, data is king. But with this interconnectedness comes vulnerability. That's where hackers come in. Join me as I deep dive into the world of penetration testing to see if it's really the secret weapon in the fight for cybersecurity.
We are hackers. We are the secret weapon. We break into systems. We steal data. We are the digital guardians, hidden in the shadows. And we...
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm talking about being a hacker.
Okay, but why are you in the dark? And why does your voice sound like that? And why are you wearing a hoodie? I mean, we do love hoodies.
I mean, they really are comfortable.
Okay, but the rest of this has nothing to do with penetration testing. Remember, you're an ethical hacker, one of the good guys. And we're supposed to be explaining that in this video. So cut it out and start the video. Let's go.
Okay.
Start the video, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to eSecurity Planet. Today, we're diving into the world of cybersecurity, and we're going to talk about a crucial role, the ethical hacker, also known as a penetration tester. Have you ever wondered how companies protect themselves from cyber attacks? Well, these are the folks on the front lines, finding the weaknesses before the bad guys do. So what's an ethical hacker? And what makes them different from other hackers? Well, the answer's right in the name, ethical. Think of them as the good guys who work with companies to hack into their systems to actually prevent them from being hacked by bad actors. The key difference is intent. Criminal attackers, or black hats, exploit vulnerabilities for personal gain, causing damage or disruption. Ethical hackers, or white hats, get permission and work to identify and report these vulnerabilities so they can be patched. In fact, many former black hat hackers, the bad guys, now actually use their skills for good, working as ethical hackers to help organizations improve their security posture. And they do this by simulating real-world cyber attacks, using similar tools and techniques that the criminal use to uncover vulnerabilities in companies' defenses and report them. This process is known as penetration testing, or pen testing for short. There are many different types of penetration tests, each with their own fancy name, but there's 3 types in general. First is a zero knowledge or black box test. This simulates a real attack where the tester has zero information about the target system. They have to start from scratch, just like a real hacker. This is the most realistic, but it's also the most time-consuming and the most expensive. Then there's gray box testing. Here, the penetration tester has some information, like maybe employee credentials or knowledge of internal networks. It's a balance between realism and efficiency. And finally, we have the crystal or white box test. This is where the pen tester gets all the information, source codes, user credentials, everything. This penetration test simulates an insider threat and is often quicker and cheaper than the other types. Now, when working on penetration tests, they can be very comprehensive, where they cover everything, the entire network, all systems and devices, and even the people. Or the penetration test can be a limited test that focuses on specific areas, like web applications, wireless networks, or even physical security. Think of it like checking the locks on every door and window of a house versus just checking the front door. Now, whether you're testing everything or your test is just tailored to specific needs, the goal is the same, and that's to check for weaknesses in the network infrastructure, website, mobile app, cloud environment, IoT and smart devices, and more. So, what does a typical penetration test look like? Well, it usually follows these 6 steps. First, there's the pre-engagement phase. This is where everyone agrees on the scope and rules of engagement. It's not flashy, and honestly, it's probably the most boring phase. But this phase is super important, as the scope and rules of engagement are what determines what's allowed, and not following these steps can possibly land you in jail. Now, once the scope is agreed upon, the pen test actually starts with the reconnaissance phase. This can be from places like Google, websites, publicly available information, or even social media. The goal is to get anything and everything that can help us successfully attack our target. Next is the scanning phase, and this is where we're looking for vulnerabilities or weaknesses within our targets. These can be things like misconfigured settings, outdated services and applications, or something else that reveals a gaping hole or a weakness. And this is also why it's important to install patches and updates to your apps and devices. Now, I know installing updates can be annoying, but those same updates usually fix security issues that, if left unchecked, can lead to someone gaining access if they were to exploit it. Which brings us to our next phase, and that's the exploitation phase. This is where we're actually trying to break into the target and gain that initial foothold, so we can look cool and say things like,
"We're in."
Just joking. none of us really do that. Now, exploitation is only made possible by using the information we gathered and the vulnerabilities we discovered and confirmed in the previous phases. And it's also very important that we verify the information and confirm the vulnerability does exist before we run any exploits. Because if we don't and it doesn't work, we run the risk of getting caught, or worse, we take down our target by accident. And remember, this is supposed to be a simulation, so we don't want to cause real-world complications like crashing a website or taking a network offline. These things can cause companies a lot of money and embarrassment, and get us in a lot of trouble. Believe me, I've been there. Not a good feeling. Now, once we successfully exploit our target and gain access, we start the post-exploitation phase to see what we can do when we're inside. The purpose of this phase is to see how much more information we can gather, or if we can elevate our privileges to an admin level user, or if we can move to another device or a different part of the network, also known as pivoting. Again, gathering information on what we can further exploit is crucial to the assessment. And finally, and probably the most important phase of the penetration test, is the reporting phase. This is where the ethical hacker documents everything. They share their process, the tools that they used, what they found, and they also provide recommendations on how to fix the weaknesses. Penetration testers use a variety of tools. For example, Kali Linux is a popular operating system that's packed with over 600 security tools. Burp Suite helps penetration testers test web applications. Wireshark analyzes network traffic, and John the Ripper helps you crack passwords. And these are just a few examples. There are a lot more tools in their arsenal. Now, penetration testing does have a lot of benefits. For example, it helps prevent data breaches, help businesses protect their reputation, and comply with regulations. However, they can be expensive, and if they're not done carefully, it can disrupt normal operations. But penetration testing is a critical part of any cybersecurity strategy. It's a proactive approach to security, helping organizations stay one step ahead of the bad guys. So, the next time you hear about an ethical hacker, remember, they're the guardians of your digital world, and they're working hard to keep your information safe. So, do you have any questions about ethical hackers or penetration testing? If so, let me know in the comment section below. Also, be sure to check out our full article on the eSecurity Planet website. And remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications for more cybersecurity videos. Thanks for watching. I'm Davin Jackson, and until next time,
Hack the planet.